Hi everyone. um it's been a while. I think my last upload was in 2020. Um and obviously I can't believe I haven't made a video since pre-pandemic. That's crazy. Um Obviously things have changed since the last time you guys have seen me. Unless you follow me on social media. I didn't disappear. I disappeared from this platform mainly because I had nothing left for it. Um, I I didn't have anything really to continue with. I didn't have any ideas, and you would think during the pandemic that I would have come up with a bunch of stuff, and I did. They just had nothing to do with making videos on the internet, and since then, I kind of just wasn't interested in it. Um, it's been a while, unless you know me outside of YouTube, which most of you I think do. So it hasn't really been, but it's been a while for me. Um, to the point where I had made a video 5 years ago, as a letter to my 25-year-old self, and then proceeded to completely forget about it, um, until obviously this year when I turned 25. And then I put off making this video. I originally made this video late. My birthday's in February. This video was uploaded in April. So I had been 20 for 2 months. That's it? Yeah. I'd only been 20 for 2 months. It is now July 4th, 2025. I've been 25 for more than half of the year now. My half birthday. Well, okay. Not for half the year yet for me. My half birthday's next month. But regardless, I've been 25 for a while, and I am going to watch this video in full for the first time since making it, and I'm scared, and I hate watching my own videos, and I don't know why I did this, but you guys are coming with me. So if we okay, now we're locking my phone. Cool. This is probably the cringiest thing I've ever done, and I apologize in advance for what we're about to watch. So let's jump right in, huh?
Decided to
And immediately,
pretty much document
right away,
talking
it cuts off what I'm saying in the beginning. So we're gonna just
to
roll
her
with that.
25-year-old self. And the first time I watched that video, like when she originally did it, because I've followed.
Okay, cool. I'm non-binary now, so that's sick. And I actually decided I was non-binary. Not decided, but like discovered, I guess, this about myself during the pandemic. This is only a month into that. A month into, I believe, lockdown, or like the time where nothing was open and all you could do was go outside and try to find hobbies that you had when you were a child with no access to the internet, because the internet was destroying our brains. This is what my room looked like. As you can see, it has changed quite a bit. I still live in the same place I did 5 years ago. I live with my dad and my sister, and we had just moved in, because we were selling the house that we grew up in, and that's a whole other story. But we sold that house, the house that you see in all of my older videos with the blue walls, and then later with purple walls if I even made videos during that time. That was my old house. The video where I shaved my head was here. And all my podcasts have taken place, like the ones that have video, have been here. So things do change, but this is what my room looked like. I still actually have those two Watsky posters in the exact same spot, though. But a lot of things have moved, clearly. I have settled in a little more, and I have more going on back here, more to look at. But let's continue.
Dodie for years. I was like, oh, that's cute. Like, you know.
Okay, so I'm talking about Dodie here, I think.
And that was 5 years later.
I don't know where the first part of this video went.
And it made me realize how much.
Also, what the let's be real here. What the fuck is going on with my hair?
Changed.
What is that? What is that? Who let me do that? No one. I did. Because it was during the pandemic and no one was going to see me. So I cut my own bangs. I was already blonde. I had just gotten my hair done, I think, for my birthday. And then retouched it. So I was platinum blonde, which is, by the way, very difficult to take care of during the pandemic. Hence why I ended up shaving my head, amongst other things. We're not gonna get, sorry. Regardless, those bangs are whack. My eyebrows are whack. Hence why I shaved them off. That, and I just don't care, and I like the way I look without eyebrows. I don't recognize this person, really. I do, but I don't. This was a version of myself that wasn't comfortable being themselves yet. Discovering who I mean, obviously, I was 20. You don't know anything at 20. You don't know anything from the ages of 0 to maybe, I mean, I don't know anything now, but I feel like I know myself a lot more than I did. Maybe that was due to being only with myself for 6 months. But looking at this is crazy. Okay, we're gonna keep going.
It made me realize how much has changed in only 5 years, and it has made
I realized
me
that.
feel the need for I need to do something. I need to feel as though there is some sort of hope in the next 5 years for me, because, you know, if you're watching this years later, 2020 is a shit show.
Correct. It got worse,
I'm
babes.
currently isolated in my father's home, in my room. And
I'm not isolated anymore, though.
it's been about a month and a week now since I personally have been quarantined. My job shut down on March 17th on St. Patrick's Day, and since then
I got
have
fired
not
from that
worked.
job.
I have not really seen my friends. I have not been able to, you know, do anything that a normal human usually does on a daily basis. You know, being outside is a chore. There are lines out the door at
Being outside is a chore. That's so real. My girlfriend and I, my partner and I, Kay, most of you do know them. We are indoor people for the most part. We love going outside, but if there's nothing to do outside, we are going inside. They are very prone to sunburning. They're ginger, so like very Irish, very white. I'm also white. I'm not saying I'm not white. I am also Lebanese though, so I take to sun much better than they do. So I'll be outside doing nothing, and they will be like, "I'm going to kill myself if we don't go inside in the next 5 seconds." So I don't go outside much. I try to go outside more. I also now have a full-time job indoors, so it's difficult for me to find the energy to go outside when I'm not working. And on days like today where I have off, I mostly want to stay somewhere where I don't have to sweat, because I sweat at work every day. All that is to say is I'm a lazy piece of shit. And that hasn't changed in 5 years. But I feel as though I enjoy going outside more than I did then, mostly because it's not something I get to do as often. I have a vacation coming up, and the first thing I'm going to do is sit on a beach. So things do change, Little Willow.
in the next 5 years for me, because
This video is 20 minutes long, by the way.
you know, if you're watching this years later, 2020 is a shit show. I am currently isolated
I always had this
in my
way of
father's
speaking,
home.
and like I know I do this when I try to be serious and when I want people to listen to me, but like I pause, and I think it's for emphasis, but like it's this stupid poet voice that I put on sometimes. And I obviously, you guys know this, I was a spoken word poet for a very long time, very amateur, very like not well versed in talking like a human. So I would put on this voice to sound faux deep and faux intelligent, and I'm doing it in this video, and it's driving me fucking crazy.
This is just not the vibe.
It's
I
not
am
the
20
vibe
years
to
old.
be
I am supposed to be working, so
witnessing
I can save money,
the
so I can retire
apocalypse.
at 30 and just travel the world freely. But that's not what's going to
Correct,
happen.
it never
now.
was,
Not
babe.
that it was going to happen anyway.
Coffee!
But I thought I would make an unscripted video to my 25-year-old self, because I've been lost quite a bit lately, and
You gonna be
tired
lost for a long time.
it. So I want to project this sort of energy and hopefully
Who did I
you know,
think I
when I
was?
look back at this in 5 years and answer it, if I remember to, I will hopefully be in a better place, and I hope the world will be in a better place. But
okay, two things. I am in a much better place mentally, physically, emotionally. I am a better functioning person than I was in this video. The world, however, I don't know how to tell you this. I'm a hold our tattooed fingers together when I tell you this, my love. We're fucked. Bad. Hard. And I don't even know how to prepare you for what's going to happen. I don't think I can. If I were to go back in time to this moment in time when I'm making this video originally and tell my 20-year-old self what's going to happen in 5 years, I think I would, first of all, cause this person in here, right here, to commit suicide. I know I can't say that on the internet anymore, but that's what would happen. Either that or, no, that's it. That's the only thing. That is the thing that I would probably have done, or committed myself to, you know, a cult of some kind where I can just be delusional and, you know, pray to the aliens that this won't happen. But it did. And, you know, you're living in 2025 now. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Maybe not exactly, because there's a lot. But I'm talking about all of it. So, everything that has happened in this country since the pandemic, I think, would put even that version of myself into a coma of some kind. Which is really unfortunate, because between the ages of 2015 to 2020, I was already going through enough. So you put another 5 years on top of that, and you put me here. I mean, look at me. I don't have eyebrows anymore. That's where we're at.
you know, it's looking bleak right now.
If only you knew.
I'm trying to keep my hopes up. So,
why?
To my 25-year-old self, congratulations. You made it to 25. Congratulations on making it, you know, past 16, honestly.
Yep. Yeah.
I know we've been through some shit. We've gone through quite a lot together. I am 20 years old. I've been 24. My birthday was the end of February.
Wow, stupid.
2 months now.
Wow.
And I haven't really gotten to enjoy it, really.
Nope. And you won't.
I was in a deep depression last year around this time. And I was in that depression for a few months before I pulled myself out of it. And I had friends that pulled me out of it, which was in about August 2019. And then I had the best second half of that year ever. And then 2020
I don't remember anything.
around, and it made everything that much harder because I was in a great spot. I was like, you know, living my best life as, you know, as 20-year-old.
What? What are you talking about? The second half of 2019, I, first of all, don't remember much of it. I was employed at a retail establishment that I shall not name because it traumatized me. 2019 was a bad year all around. It was horrible. And then 2020 came around, and honestly, it was a relief to never have to see those people for a while because they hurt me bad. And I was super naive, and a lot had happened that just shouldn't have. And this version of me is a fucking moron. So let's continue.
Full-time job, online classes, and, you know, just
I
trying
dropped
to
out.
work my way through my life. And it was all fun, fine, and dandy. And then there's a pandemic, you know, and I feel as though, like, I've been trying to document this as much as I can. I have my podcast, which is kind of recapping as much as I can about this situation.
I still have that.
All that other
Stream title pending podcast. There's a big thing coming. I am recording with someone super, super dope and super cool. some of y'all may know already, because I can't keep a secret to save my life, but this has been planned since January, and I'm super excited. So this is my mid-roll of my own work that I'm doing. I'm so fucking excited. You guys have no idea. I might actually post it on this channel, too, because I want you guys to see it. So, okay. Anyway, moving on.
Stuff, all that other great stuff. However, it's just so hard to continue.
I can't stand you.
Being happy and being okay in this sort of situation. And a lot of people agree with me. You know, a lot of other people are going through the same thing. I just had a talk with my therapist. I'm not alone in this.
I have the same therapist,
I'm not the only
too.
one who's regressing.
Daphne,
or feels like they're regressing.
we love you.
But I have a lot of questions for you. As, my 25-year-old self.
Oh, no.
I don't know who you are. I don't know what you're like. But I realized a lot can change in 5 years. Because 5 years ago, I was 15.
Uh-huh. I was 10.
A different person 5 years ago. I
was 10 years ago
now.
now.
The person I was at 15. I don't like the person who I was at 15.
Okay, relax. Hold on. Chill out.
Totally
Before we
fine.
get into the questions that you have for me. Sorry, the camera's shaking. I, have it on a moving cart. Be nice to your 15-year-old self, bitch. You ain't any better. When I was 15, you've seen it. My whole life has been on the internet. I have been making videos on the internet and content, now that it's called that, on the internet since I was 9, 10 years old. Hopefully those videos are not on some creep's hard drive somewhere, but if they are, I'd like them back, please. But I've been on the internet forever, so yes, obviously, I'm going to put my shortcomings on the internet and not know their shortcomings until later, but you have to be nicer to yourself. You have lived your entire life online for other people in a lot of ways, and I say generally you, as in this generation, people who are watching this, including myself. When you are 15, you don't know right from left, up from down, smart from stupid, and that really doesn't ever go away. There's always that, obviously you learn right from wrong, but you don't know what's cringy and what's not until you're 5 years removed from it. So, who I was at 15, a cliquey, who called Tyler and Josh small beans, amongst other things, and just being completely obnoxious and undiagnosed mentally ill and bullied in high school and had bright red hair, all of these things, they just make you who you are. Because now look at me, I got a giant fucking piece of metal in my face. So some things just don't change, they evolve. I'm still that same cringy emo kid. I think I'm just better at articulating myself. Other than that, I'm going to find this cringe at 30. I'm going to have half these tattoos covered up at 30, I'm sure. I don't think so, but I already have 2. So I'm probably going to get a few more stupid ones. That's fine.
I like me.
No, you don't.
15 when I was 15, so maybe that's progress. That I like myself now a little better. I think I'm kind of cool. I don't know what you think of me. You think I'm okay?
I think you're a shitty human.
I did an okay job making you, or having a part in making you. I really hope you don't go through any more trauma in the next 5 years. But I have a few questions.
Oh, you stupid bitch! I hope you don't go through any more trauma in the next 5 years. First of all, trauma never stops. It's gonna keep hitting you left and right and left and right. Shortly after this, no, it might have been a year later, you lost your cat. That sucked. What else happened? Lots of work-related trauma that I don't want to go into. Lots of things that just shouldn't happen to people. You cannot escape not being traumatized. Or being traumatized. You cannot escape it. You can't. You're going to be traumatized. It's just going to keep happening to you. And it, especially in this socio-political climate we're in, it's going to happen faster and harder than it ever has.
I have a few questions, so I guess we'll get started. Are you still friends with the same people you were friends with?
Most of them. If you know, you know.
Big thing I'm worried about is that I'm not going to be friends with the same people. And if I'm not friends with the same people, why?
No, I'm not telling you that one.
These are my people. These are...
Nope.
the most solid group of friends that I've ever had. I hang out with the same 5-6 people, and they mean the world to me. And I really
you
hope
have
that
two of those people left,
because I can't imagine life without them at this point. And if
it's really not that bad.
Did end up going south for whatever reason, I really hope that
when you grow up, this is all I'll say about this. When you grow up, you realize that some people. So this is what I'll say about this. I am not friends with the main person I am talking about here anymore because I don't want this to sound horrible, because I wish no one ill will, and I'm not really mad about it anymore. But when you spend your whole life with someone and they never show you that you are worth their time or their respect, and you just keep hoping that one day they'll turn around and actually treat you like a friend and not a free ride or, a chauffeur, which is a lot of the time what I felt like, or, something on the back burner, something to do when you're bored, someone to only talk at and not talk to. One day you will get sick of that, and something will finally set you off. There will be a straw that breaks the camel's back, and you will realize that you are worth more than, being the person that they go to for something they need, rather than, the fact that they need you. They don't need you because they haven't reached out since, to talk to you, to reconcile, to do anything like that. Meanwhile, you haven't even asked them how they are in months, years maybe. And at some point you will get sick of that, and I got sick of it, and I haven't heard from that person since. So it's very clear to me that the people I cherished did not care about me the same way, and don't ever intend on rectifying or even trying to understand why I did what I did. So, not to get super serious for a second, but this is a deep video, guys. We're gonna keep going.
It was on okay terms, and
No,
you don't have any qualms with anybody.
No, I have plenty.
Are you dating someone? I'm not.
Yes.
I don't know when I will.
Okay, relax. So at this point in 2020, it had been a year or so since I had broken up with my first girlfriend, who I am still pretty tight with. We're pretty close friends. And that was a journey that I had to take, because at this point in time when I'm making this video, it was a year after, and I was still hurting. And I think it stemmed from the fact that after we had broken up, it was only a 6-week relationship, and we had known each other forever. Like, we had been friends over the internet, and then they came to where I live to go to school, and then, we started hanging out, and then it was more than hanging out, and I really liked her. I thought she was so pretty. I thought she was so cool, and she's a great person. But, when I was at this point in time, I was not sure of myself, obviously, but also very unsure that, I was ready for a relationship, and she was not ready for a relationship at that point in time. We were both in very bad places, I think, mentally. But what hurt more, I think, is that she started dating someone very soon after and had obviously grown and was able to show that affection that she couldn't show me. And that sucked. And right after we had broken up, I started using Tinder again, and then I saw this boy, and then he fucked me up because he was weird. And then he fucked my coworker at the time, 6 months later, and I think now he's a dad. So if he's watching this, I still hate you, and I still think you're a loser, and you called me crazy, so now I'm gonna act like it. But anyway, that first girlfriend broke my heart, so I didn't, have a real relationship for years after that, until 2021. So not that long, actually, but I met my partner, my life partner, Kay, who's been on my podcast a few times. You see them all over my Instagram and Twitter and everything, and I'm in love with them. And we're going to get married, maybe, if they let us by the time we're ready. If we're not dead yet. And it took me a very long time to come to that because I had gone through hell. Because getting broken up with after 6 weeks when you really, really like the person and you're not like love bombing, but like you're a sensitive, like, emotional person, and when you're not reciprocating that overwhelming amount of emotion to someone like that, we were also 19 and 20, so like it wasn't good. Again, if you're watching this, hey, we're pretty good friends now. Everything's, we've chilled, we've progressed. She has a lovely boyfriend now, and I obviously have a very lovely partner that we are going to be celebrating 4 years in October by seeing 21 Pilots. So some things don't change. So yes, I am in a relationship. So you will find love, my love. I promise.
I am trying really hard not to focus on dating. I am doing my best to focus on myself, especially in this sort of really difficult time that we're all having. Dating's hard for me in general because I think
I had Tinder downloaded at this point, though.
And,
so,
in this day and age...
Liar.
I'm not going to say I was born the wrong generation. I don't mind hooking up. I don't mind casual relationships. However, when I get attached, I get severely attached, and I don't like that about myself. I wish I could be a little colder than I am. I know my emotions.
You get colder, don't worry. And not in like a bad way, but you protect yourself quite a bit more now. You're not as trusting with everyone you meet, and things might not work out. And this is not just with relationships, romantic relationships. This is with like friendships as well, and people you meet at jobs, because you have a lot of those, and that's kind of the only way you can meet people outside of apps now, unfortunately, because who goes out in public and like socializes anymore? So you meet people you work with, and you meet people that you want to be friends with, but you don't immediately trust them with your life story like you used to, because that will fuck you up if you just think these coworkers are family or friends like you did when you were 19, 20 years old, because they don't love you like that, because they're still gonna fucking fire your ass.
Or something I should value. However, it's really difficult when my emotions have been shut down time and time again.
LOL.
But I'm doing great. Right now, I'm currently hung up on my ex-girlfriend. Everybody knows that. Everybody's aware of that, including her, I'm sure. And if
embarrassing.
She's watching this, now she is. We are friendly. We are on okay terms. I wonder if you still talk to her as well. And if you do, are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Because I know we've been friends for a really long time.
Bro, I didn't even know I talked about this in this video. We're tight. It's fine. And, like, it's not at the point where anyone is of any concern of, like, backsliding or anything like that. Because first of all, I don't believe in that shit. You move forward, you move forward. But, like, something that is very unique, I think, to the lesbian and sapphic, I guess, subculture, we don't like burn bridges like that. Most of the girls were not men, but I had someone I dated when I was like 15, 16. It wasn't that serious or anything, but we still follow each other on Instagram. I feel like, there are lesbians who don't talk to each other after they've dated. I'm not saying that. This is generalizing. But in my experience, a lot of lesbian breakups are that much harder because you value the person outside of your relationship more, and you realize that, like, you're only breaking up because of differences. You're not breaking up because either of you are horrible people, the same way you break up with men because they're horrible people a lot of the time. I don't know. I'm putting my foot in my mouth, but you know what I'm saying?
With this person, and she's great, but she's not your person. Not right now. And,
not ever,
if
dude.
I'm talking to you and you happen to be dating her, ignore this. I don't think that's going to be the case, but
no, it's not. You stupid bitch.
Weird turn of events.
I'm like gonna fast forward this part. This is embarrassing.
Your ex-girlfriend from the age of 19. Congratulations, you won.
No.
Otherwise,
I did win, but not like that.
Are you dating anybody else? Are you dating someone?
Yes.
That makes you.
You're a lesbian now.
Because for a long time you have not dated people that made you feel.
You're lesbian. That's why.
Most of the people you've dated.
Because you're a lesbian.
You feel like less of a person.
Lesbian.
In fact. And you have a bad habit of, dating people that don't treat you well, and then blaming yourself when things go wrong.
Mm-hmm.
You've had one solid relationship in the past.
You were 14.
I think. And even that didn't last very long. And you still blame yourself for it. I hope you've gotten over that by now, because it's a long time to hold on to something like that. But
I don't even know what you're talking about.
Fairly new. Anyway.
Oh. Yeah, I don't blame myself for that shit at all.
Like?
I look like this, bro. Okay, we're gonna move on from the relationship shit. Yes, I am in very deep love with my partner. Yes, I do speak to people I have dated in the past. There are other people that I've dated in the past that I still wish ill upon, because they were freaks. So, moving forward to how I look. All right, so I'm gonna stand up. Again, if you follow me on Instagram, you know all this already. But my 20-year-old self did not follow me on Instagram, because they're not alive anymore. They're dead. So I look like this. I am covered in tattoos head to toe, pretty much. My hair is much longer, and this is before I shaved my head, and this is after. So this is about 4 years-ish of hair growth, which I'm super excited about. I have way more piercings than I do in this video. My ears are bigger. What else? Jesus Christ. I am the same height. I think that I do look really different, and I don't know if it's just because it's been 5 years and my eyebrows are gone, because that will change a person's face shape, I think. But I think my boobs were definitely smaller than they are now. But I don't know if I was wearing a bra on this. I'm not wearing a bra now. And I could talk about this shit because I'm 25 and I'm an adult and I can have these discussions with other adults online. But I don't think... I mean, I'm definitely, stronger now. I've got, bigger arms. I think I'm curvier now. I've filled out a little bit. I was very thin for a very long time. Part of gaining this weight was the pandemic, but a lot of it was a point in time between my full-time job and being unemployed for 2 months where I gained a lot of weight because I wasn't doing anything. And then I started a very physical job, so I dropped a lot of weight. I still am at that job 3 years later, and I am in really good shape. I'm in some of the best shape I've ever been in my life. When I was here, I had just quit working at a cafe run by Zionists, probably. Don't go there. That was very difficult for me. I was running around a lot, so I did drop a lot of weight before the pandemic, and then I got into the pandemic, and then obviously I wasn't working nearly as much, so I did gain a lot of weight, and I had that weight with me. But I don't know if I lost it or if it just toned a little bit. I don't know. I am definitely different looking. As for the cosmetic stuff, obviously I have more piercings if you compare me then to me now. I have way more tattoos. You can't really tell because I am in sweatpants and a sweatshirt in that video. It is July, so I am not doing that. And obviously, again, if you follow me on my other platforms where I am way more active than this one, I get tattoos quite a bit. And that is because I've wanted to look like this since I was way younger than that, probably about 9-10 years old. I was heavily tattooed people are the people I trust the most. I think they're cool. I want to look like that. So I did. So now I do. We're pretty substantially tattooed, to the point where I've already gotten 2 cover-up tattoos. So, congrats, I guess.
Look like this. My hair has been blonde for a very long time. I bought Good Dye Young again because I'm in quarantine, and I plan on dyeing some of my hair.
And then I did, and then it looked
hopefully
dumb.
you've remained, I hope your hair's grown out, actually, like, longer. I got extensions.
Oh my god, those extensions were so stupid. I don't know what happened to them.
Not that type of video. But I hope your hair's longer. I hope your eyebrows have grown back, because this is not
Well,
I shaved the ends of my eyebrows in quarantine.
Well, I haven't had eyebrows in months, actually. I usually grow them out in the winter, and I couldn't tell you even for a second why that's my logic. Because it's not to keep my face warm. But I like the way I look without eyebrows, and when I shave them in the summer, I can, like, tan the rest of my face, and I don't have to worry about weird tan lines, because if I shave in the winter, they're going to be a lot lighter than the rest of me. Does that make sense? Probably not. So your eyebrows did grow back, and I had very, like, thick, luscious eyebrows, and I still do when they grow back. But right now, I'm in the weird no eyebrow alien face stage. So, and I'm loving it.
You know, do you have a similar style to me right now? Like, I think I found myself as a person. I don't know if I have.
Bullshit.
Oh, he's cooking. My dad is cooking. I was like, what is that? But if you look any different, what's changed?
Let's talk about this for a second. I'm really sorry. This video is going to be really long. I have definitely, I don't want to say I've found my style, because I still work somewhere where I can only wear, like, a t-shirt and jeans without ripping something or getting something ruined. So when I worked where I work in this video originally, when I was 20, I was able to dress up a little more, and I do like some of the things that I wore back then. I'm very, I'm more relaxed with my style now. When I go out, I do still wear a lot. I have a huge collection of t-shirts, and most of the reason I just wear t-shirts is because I have so many of them. But I love thrifting, and when I thrift, I usually find some really cute things that I like to wear, but I have nowhere to wear them. So my style has become more out of convenience and comfort rather than what I actually want to wear. So when I am out, I do tend to be a little overdramatic. I'm a big fan of chains and lace and shit like that, and I tend to wear a lot of jewelry. I'm a big fan of jackets over crop tops. I love big pants. I love having stupid things hanging from my pants. I love carabiners. I'm a lesbian, I don't know what to tell you. Big fan of my jumpsuits and overalls. I've really embraced the dyke fashion. So, lots of, horizontal stripes usually. Mini dresses are a big thing. I'm looking at my closet right now. Crop tank tops. Nothing like crazy or like extravagant. Big pants are a big part of it. Big pants, small shirt. I'm a very big pants, small shirt guy. So, the opposite of Adam's. No, it's not, because he's big pants, big shirt.
Your hair? Have you gone back to your natural hair
no,
in the past 5 years at all?
I'm thinking about it, though.
I haven't in the past 5. I haven't gone back to brown since I was.
I've been thinking of going full brunette. A lot. Mostly because I really like this shade of brown down here, and I want it on the top of my head, but I'm waiting until the winter because I'm afraid it's going to wash me out or, like, make me look weird in the summer if I'm too dark. The opposite of being washed out. It's just not going to make sense to have dark hair in the summer for me, because it just doesn't look right, because I never have dark hair in the summer. I don't know. That doesn't make any sense. But I do really like the way this brown has turned out. So I'm thinking of either adding more or just going full brunette. But I love platinum, and I think it's so fun, and I've had platinum for years, on and off. I haven't dyed my hair at home in a minute, mostly because I am lazy, and the upkeep is stupid, and I hate the way it looks when it fades, because it looks like I'm being lazier than I actually am, and I have put my hair through the ringer. So I'm only getting it professionally done as of late, and mostly it is just to fix my roots, although I've been letting them grow out, so I think the next one's just going to be a haircut. I'm getting boring.
16, maybe? Yeah, I think I was 16, and then I shaved it at 17, and then I grew back, and then I bleached it. I think I look great blonde.
And then I went
I
dark
don't
again
think brown is my
shortly
color. I don't
after
think
this
it was
video,
meant to be
actually.
my color. But, you know, if you've gone back to brown, you look great. Great. Not even complaining. I just hope your hair's longer,
see.
because that's, like, your one goal. What else? How many shows have you been to by now? Right now, I have seen about 50-something, maybe a little more than that.
You're upwards of
counting local
100,
shows
my
and
love.
stuff, but I don't keep track anymore. I know I used to keep track when I was really, really young. I would, like, keep a Twitter thread of, like, the openers, the
I still
headline,
do.
the tour name, what day I saw them, and then I'd have pictures of, like, every concert. And if I go back far enough,
You still
I'll
have
probably
that.
find that thread.
I think I made the
But
new
if
one
you
right
wanna go
after I
back
made
and
this
look at
video.
that and look at all the shows you've been to. Have you seen any bands that I haven't seen yet? Because I really, really want
Ooh, let's see.
to see a few bands that I haven't seen yet, and I'm like hoping you have.
Who are they?
One of them being Green Day. That's a huge one
Nope.
for me.
Still haven't seen Green Day.
So if you went to Super Mega Tour or whatever the fuck, congratulations. I don't know if that's gonna end up happening.
Fall Out Boy canceled their Super Mega Tour date in Boston. So it was only Weezer and Green Day, and my girlfriend was there, and they were pissed because they're a huge Fall Out Boy fan. I didn't go to that, so I don't give a fuck because it was Weezer. I hate Weezer, and I still hate Weezer.
That's Green Day, Weezer, and Fall Out Boy, and you really only care about Green Day. Kind of Fall Out Boy, but
I can't believe I fucking said that. Oh my god, I love Fall Out Boy. Are you stupid? I saw Fall Out Boy at Boston Calling this year. I saw them at Fenway Park last year. And I will see them again next time they tour. Fuck you, 20-year-old Willow. You're stupid.
right
Stupid
now,
bitch.
I would love to see Green Day. I would love to see a lot of smaller bands. I would love to go to local shows again.
No, no.
What other questions do I have for you? Have you released any other poetry collections besides the one you plan on releasing as of right now?
No.
Because I'm putting out my first one in hopefully
No!
a few weeks.
That's another thing. I hate that poetry collection. I hate the way I sound. I hate half the poems on it. I hate the cover. I hate everything. Thank you if you've listened to it and it means something to you. These poems are old as shit, and I would love to release another one, but I'm afraid of hating it again in 5 years. So I've decided to release it as something else, and I hope you guys enjoy it when it comes out. I've been teasing it forever, and I'm still not telling you exactly what's going on yet, but there are things in the works. It's been taking forever. I've been doing this for like 3 or 4 years, and I'm just afraid to touch it. So, I don't know.
And it's a huge accomplishment for me, but it's also like super nerve-wracking. I don't know what the
No one gave a
response is
fuck.
gonna be. I don't
No one
know
gave a
how
fuck.
people are gonna feel.
They don't
I
give a
know
fuck.
if anybody's gonna listen to me. I just want it
Nope.
out there. I just want it to mean something to me. And if anybody else happens
And it
to
did.
listen to it, that would be great. But
You
I'm
had
really
like a
not
few
expecting
people.
much, to be honest with you, because I'm not great at self-promotion, and I feel really bad about it.
Same.
I'm not. It's not that I'm not confident in my work, but I feel as though I'm gloating or bragging if I promote it too much. So hopefully you've
I
gotten
agree with
over
that.
because if you don't promote your work, no one's gonna see it.
And that's true. So I got over it.
Where do you live? I currently
Here.
live with my dad.
Yep.
And my mom. I go back and forth.
Nope.
Most
You
of
live
the
with your
time.
dad.
I will be living at my dad's full time and then visiting my mom. Right
Nope.
now I'm staying at my
You're not
dad's
even
because my
visiting your mom
mom's
anymore.
During quarantine, which is fine.
That's
because
not true.
I don't blame.
But like
I
way
don't blame her at all.
rarely.
So I live here now. As you can see, I've made myself at home a little bit with my tapestry and
Let's be clear here. In this I had just gotten a mattress. In this video, obviously, I had not really I thought I had made myself at home. I don't even know what happened to that Paris tapestry, to be honest with you. But this was my version of at home when I didn't think I would be staying here for that long. And then I realized very quickly that there was no one else I could live with at this point. There was nowhere else to go. I definitely couldn't go live with my mom and her husband. I wasn't invited. I wasn't welcome. So I made myself at home here, and honestly, I love my room now. It's a little messy, but like, it's definitely more lived in than it was in this video. I would give you a tour, but it's like a shit show right now. But like, My bed is in the same position it is now, which is crazy because I've moved it like 6 times since making this original video. That's kind of funny.
Posters. There will be a video on me redoing my room, by the way.
No, there won't be. There will not be.
Hopefully you live with roommates or with a significant other.
Soon.
Or
maybe, hopefully.
A dog.
You have 2.
Just not.
I think at this point I didn't have a dog because Calvin, who was my dad's dog and my best friend, died right before my 20th birthday. So from then until May of that year, so very shortly after making this video, we got Cooper. And if you know me outside of YouTube, Cooper is the dog of ever. I love him so much. And then 2 Halloweens ago, I think 2023, I believe, is when we got him. We got Marty, who is a coyote, pretty much. And again, I post pictures of them all the time. I love them very much. So I have dogs, which is very exciting.
Even if you and your sister move in together, because in 5 years you're going to be 25, she's going to be 19, 20. Holy shit.
Yeah.
She's in college. She doesn't need to move in with me. She's in college.
She's in college.
She
is in college and she lives here.
Brainiac, she's fine. How is she? Oh my god, she's going to be 19.
Okay, so my sister is around the age that I was making this video. She's a year younger, and she is my best friend in all seriousness. I love my sister forever and ever, and we have gone through all of it together. The pandemic and everything after that with our parents, everything before that with our parents. She is the only person who knows me entirely and fully and still loves me to death, and vice versa. She's in college. She is in environmental sciences and environmental politics, I think, which is crazy considering where we're at right now. We're going to need people like her if we even survive as long as her getting her degree. She rows, and she's athletic, and she does this all with chronic pain, and she is probably the strongest person I know. And if she's watching this for whatever reason, because I don't think she really watches my stuff, River, I love you, and I'm sorry that you are always dealt a very shit end of your stick, and all I can do at this point is, motivate you to advocate for yourself and take care of yourself, and I will always be here. Always. Even when you tell me you prefer boys to girls, which broke my heart a little, but it's okay.
Is she okay?
No, none of us are.
What college is she going to? What is she majoring in?
I just told you, you stupid bitch.
I don't want to think about that one. I don't want to make it about her. That's crazy. That's like a whole other level. I hope mom and dad are okay. As well. I hope.
They're themselves.
David.
He's dead. He's dead.
I'm pretty sure he's not with you.
No,
anymore.
He's dead. David was my cat. He's dead.
Decently.
He lived another year after this video. 18 years. Mm-mm.
Really old, and
you're okay.
I feel as though if I
it
ask
sucks
you this,
though.
He's not going to be there, and that I'm trying to be okay with that, but I can't even imagine thinking 5 years ahead. Is
you dropped out, baby. You dropped out of college, and you're going back in the fall, actually. So congrats.
I withdrew.
Nope,
from
you're
my
going full time in person
because I was depressed and not doing them, and I was wasting money. And I can't focus when they're online classes, I realized, which is going to suck when I actually go back to work because I work full time and I won't be able to do school online the same way that I did. At least then I had, and I feel very
That's why I jumped into full time after this.
Has Haley Williams seen your tattoo yet?
Yes!
Do you regret your tattoos yet?
Some of them!
Because I still don't. Even the stupid one I have on.
I still love that one.
Maybe I'd add to it.
Not yet. Nope.
Nicer.
It's still there in all its glory.
If you have
blown out and
I really
stupid.
Hope you have, because this is the only one that I wish I didn't do right away. This I got 2 or 3 days.
Don't
after
you
my
worry,
birthday.
there are more.
It is a doodle from my journal that Watsky.
Okay, we know the story behind that one. I still have that one. It's upside down. It's fine. I do have many more tattoos. Would you guys like a tattoo tour video? Is that something you guys would be interested in? Maybe I'll film it after I film this because I'm wearing shorts and I can do it now. But you got a Bratz doll on the side of your leg that you had just gotten covered up recently. Cover-up's not finished yet. It's a flail now. You have this one. I think in this video I already had this one. It was a sunflower growing out of the palm of a hand. It looked like shit. Now it's a bat, and I think it looks super dope. This wasn't colored in either, but I had my artist color it in. Shouts out Caitlin at Redemption Tattoo. I talk about her all the time, all the places. Max and I talked about her on the podcast. I might have her on the podcast one day if she's down. I have a lot more tattoos. I have tattoos that I don't fully love that I would only get, but like the Haley tattoo I have did not look like this when Haley saw it. It looked like shit when Haley saw it, and I'm still embarrassed, and I need her to see this version. Caitlin also fixed this one. If you know what it looked like in 2018, 2019, until I got it fixed in 2024, you know what I'm talking about. But if you don't, I posted it, so you can go look at it, and it looks like shit. But she fixed it, and it looks great now, and I love it, and I'm going to have her fix Watsky too.
Pencil and a peace sign. Not only is it upside down, because it's right side up this way, but like if you show it to someone, it's upside down. But this looks like a joint to a lot of people.
Yeah,
it's not.
And mostly because of the peace sign next to it.
This, if you haven't already, make it like a cohesive something and like add to it.
No, I like it stupid.
That'd be great. Don't know how you're gonna do that.
You're not.
Even if you just like add like some color.
Shut up!
In the background. I don't know.
You have bigger things to worry about.
Jeb, your tattoo artist. Do you still go to him?
No!
He's done, at this point, 4 of your tattoos.
God.
He's done the lion.
The artist that I'm talking about is not the artist I go to now. They are at the same shop, and I'm afraid of what I could say. Basically, he's heavy-handed, and it hurt. And I didn't know tattooing didn't have to hurt that much until I went to someone else. Because all the tattoos I had been to prior were very heavy-handed, and they were all men. So then I went to Caitlin, who is my artist, and I love her, and I realized that, you know, she's not, it's not that it's more gentle and it doesn't hurt. It still fucking sucks, but like she's aware of what I get like when I'm freaking out, and she asks if I need a break, and she, you know, will tell me when she's starting, where she's starting, and it's just a better experience.
The Iron Giant, Haley, and Watsky, and hopefully...
Oh, I had Watsky at this point already?
When this quarantine is over, but, if you have any more work
she did.
by him, what'd you get?
Caitlin did.
I'm curious as to see what
he did not do my stomach, thank a fucking God.
Come up with, that it hasn't already. I hope
you got plenty,
tattoos,
baby.
By the way,
yes.
Or on your way to being covered in tattoos. I hope your dad hasn't killed you for it yet.
Nah, he doesn't give a fuck anymore, dude.
I don't know. Have you done any more poetry writing? Have you written anything else?
Since this video, yes.
Right
No, dude, I write fan fiction, baby.
You're not handling it well.
It's okay. You'll find your niche. People like it too.
Has Paramore come back on tour yet?
Yes, dude. I knew that was gonna be. Okay, obviously, I am still the biggest Paramore fan of the entire world of ever. Just kidding. But like this whole arm is Paramore tattoos. I am a very big Paramore fan. I've been a very big Paramore fan since the beginning of my consciousness when I was 8, when I saw Twilight for the first time. And then I bought the soundtrack, and then I listened to them, and then I freaked the fuck out, and then a few months later, Brand New Eyes came out in 2009, and it was the best day of my life. It was the first time I was a fan of something when something was released, and then they split, and the Farrah brothers left, and I felt it like my parents' divorce. So, all that being said, they did come back on tour in 2023, and I saw them 3 times on that tour, and then one more time at Webster Hall later that year, and before that, I saw them at the Beacon Theater in 2022 in November, when they had announced the release of This Is Why. At this point, After Laughter had been their last release. Haley hadn't released Petals for Armor just yet, but I think she had already started teasing it. I think she released a few songs. I don't remember when. I think Leave It Alone came out in February. Simmer came out in January. I could be wrong. I need a Paramore fan to correct me on that. But anyway, yes. I saw them far too many times. And then they didn't headline. I was going to say they headlined the Eras Tour. They opened for the Eras Tour in Europe. So now everybody knows who Paramore is. And there have been teasings of a Haley solo tour that hasn't been announced even a little bit yet. and there have been teasings that they have their own record label now. They are no longer on Atlantic, and there have been rumors that are probably not credible that they are working on a 7th album, which could be true, but like it's probably not, because hiatuses between albums for them are about 4, 5, 6 years, depending. But Zac Farro is releasing a solo project, and I'm super hype about it. Taylor York has disappeared from the face of the earth, it seems, and everybody's concerned to the point where we've been making jokes about it. We're not actually concerned. We know he's, like, not an internet person, but we don't see him out anymore because Paramore's not doing anything, so he kind of said, pfft, and disappeared from the internet. Hailey's in and out. She creeps on Twitter quite a bit, but she has a burner account, so we don't know who she is or who she follows or what's going on. She doesn't even have the app. She browses from her internet browser on her phone, and I think that's crazy. Anyway, I love her, and I love Paramore, and you saw them 5 times in the last 2 years. 3 years.
Them so much.
Still true, I miss them again.
Is releasing Petals for Armor, which is her first solo album.
And then she released a second one, and it was beautiful and heartbreaking.
Imagine Hayley Williams with 2 solo albums. Okay, or Paramore with another album. Has Paramore released an album since 2020?
Yes!
The last album was 2017.
Yes!
What's he doing? How was that fucking tour that it got postponed? Did it happen? Did you see Times Infinity in New York? Did you enjoy it? I need a full story.
No! The Placement tour got fucking canceled, okay? However, Times Infinity turns 10 next year, and I'm hoping, since George has kind of teased that he's coming back to music, that he'll do something for that. I don't know, though. But at the time, he had announced a Placement tour where he was going to play Times Infinity in full in New York City, where it was written, and along with his self-titled in Boston, which was his first album, and I was going to go to both the album show, the regular show, and then I was going to go to New York and see Times Infinity in full, and then, obviously, that didn't fucking happen because it was COVID. So, Petals for Armor tour got postponed and then canceled, and then Placement tour got postponed and then canceled, and I had tickets to maybe 2 more shows. My Chemical Romance was one that was supposed to happen in 2020, and it didn't happen until 2022, and now I have tickets to see them again at Fenway Park in the Pit, which is crazy. So we got there, we won a little bit, but we lost the Petals Farmers tour, we lost the Placement tour. There was a tour with Halsey for Manic, and Paris was supposed to open with Churches and Omar Apollo, and that didn't happen. So there are things that we lost hard, unfortunately.
I need to know. You're not going to be able to tell me until it happens, which is going to be whenever that fucking happens. A lot of shows are postponed.
It's not going to.
You saw My Chemical Romance at some point. I don't
know.
No,
I didn't. Well, yes, I did, but not when I was supposed to.
For right now, or if you saw them in 2021 or 2022, but you saw My Chemical Romance. If you didn't see My Chemical Romance,
2022.
Why didn't you see My Chemical Romance? Because that's
I'm seeing My Chemical Romance again in a few months.
Not do after you have tickets, especially with Olivia, who
don't worry, I went
for almost a decade at this point.
I did not go with Mina, unfortunately. Mina is probably my oldest friend ever. They live in Canada, and I live in Massachusetts, so it's not like we see each other often. But they were supposed to come down for the MCR show originally, and they just couldn't make it happen, which was whatever, because we ended up going to Montreal and seeing them, I think, before that, or after that. Maybe I think it was before that. We're still tight as hell. They're still one of my favorite people in the world. However, I went to MCR with someone I am no longer friends with the first time, and then I went with my beautiful, lovely girlfriend the next night, because there were 2 shows, and I got tickets to both. Them now.
I hope you still talk to a lot of your Instagram.
We both went non-binary. We both went woke.
Or that there's some other social media that everybody's moved
Blue
to.
Sky, but not really.
Whether it be Instagram, Twitter, TikTok. What's TikTok
Bad.
up to? Wow, what are the TikTok trends like?
Bad.
I can't even. Wow. Also, you're gonna be 25. You're gonna be like on the
Get
older
fucked!
side of Gen Z, which is nuts.
I just
Like,
called myself a hag.
To be 25 on the internet now is crazy, but to be 25 on the internet in 5 years is also going to be nuts. Because it's going to be so different, and I'm going to be the old one. Are you old? Are there trends you don't understand?
Yeah, actually, yeah.
Probably. I mean, that's always going to be the case. I still don't understand trends that kids are doing, and I'm 20.
I'm no longer the target audience for these trends.
On the internet right now, because I am part of Gen Z. What's the generation after us like? What are the 15-year-olds on the internet like now? Oh,
they're so bad.
They're pretty bad now. My favorite interaction that I had, or favorite like discovery, is the current My Chemical Romance fandom on Twitter.
They're still bad.
Other story. I don't know. I have so many questions, and I don't know how many you're going to.
Well, this video is almost an hour, so
if this is going to be emotional for you, I'm kind of wired right now because I just had therapy and trying to get as much creativity out.
This is not creative.
At once as I can, but I have to go eat dinner, so I'm gonna go do that. I hope this is something, for you to think about in 5 years. For those of you watching that aren't me in 5 years, this video is not really meant for you, but thank you for watching anyway. Thank you to my Patreon patrons as always. My podcast will hopefully be up by the end of today, which is April 27th, 2020. It is my best friend Haley's birthday. She's 19 today. Happy birthday, Haley.
Today's my friend Bella's birthday. Happy birthday, Bella.
A good rest of your week in quarantine. And I hope I
okay, we're going to end it there.
Distraction for you today. Or made you think about yourself in 5 years. Really hope I make it.
We're not doing that.
I really hope, and I don't mean like make it big or...
You're not doing that anytime soon,
although that would also be nice, but
no.
Hope I make it to 25. Because you never know.
This fake deep ass shit. Come on.
This pandemic could kill all of us. We don't know. I don't like thinking about it, but
it almost did.
Just do, regardless.
God, I'm so annoying.
What's your favorite movie?
Fight Club.
Mine's still Fight Club.
Fight Club. Yeah.
8th Grade's also a good one. 8th Grade's a good movie.
I saw the TV Glow.
Great movie. Booksmart. Great movie.
Horde, Longlegs, all movies that weren't out yet. Iron Giant is still a big one for me, obviously. Portrait of a Lady on Fire, Donnie Darko, Parasite, The Substance was a good movie. Made by a piece of shit person, but that's fine.
Hopefully some great movies have come out in the next 5 years. Or in your case, the last 5 years.
Barbie.
And I hope you're doing well. All my links will be below. The link to the original video will be somewhere. Like I said, whether that be...
So that's the end of that. Thank you guys for watching. My final thoughts, if you'd like to know, are I am so much fucking cooler than this bitch was. And I think that's a really good takeaway. I think it's cool when you realize how much you've grown up and how much more of yourself you become as time goes on. I very clearly wasn't sure of myself. And you can tell that by the way I'm speaking, by the way I'm presenting myself, and the things I'm talking about. I didn't really know who I was. I was learning very quickly because I was spending a lot of time with myself and no one else. And it was a very difficult time for me to be 20 years old. But as I've grown up, I have become way more sure of myself. I, not only know how to advocate for myself because I've had to, but I know what I want and I know what I have to do to get it. And I know what I'm worth and I know how to be treated. And I know that when people don't treat me how I deserve to be treated, that they're not worth my time. And growing up has definitely come with a lot of speed bumps and a lot of bullshit that, is kind of unavoidable at this point. And I think you all know that. But being 25 in 2025, where we have so many bigger things happening, and it's really difficult for me to be selfish when I'm watching the world that I grew up in and that all of, my friends and family have grown up in, and watching that kind of fall apart and, blow up, unfortunately. It doesn't give me time to think too hard about what I want to do in life, or, buying a house or getting a job with a 401k. Like, unfortunately, right now, I'm focused on making sure I do what I can to keep myself alive as a queer person in America, as when the big beautiful bill has passed as of yesterday, meaning everyone who is not a white billionaire in America is super duper fucked if we don't do something very soon. So I don't really care about getting a career that makes me a lot of money right now, because it's not going to be worth shit regardless. If I am not, again, a white old billionaire, politician / tech nerd, I'm fucked. And because I'm queer and perceived as a woman by the general population, which is not something I can really help, I'm double fucked. And there are people out there, trans people, black people, immigrants, whether they're here legally or not. We have something called Alligator Alcatraz now, dude. We don't have time to be worrying about whether we're going to be an accountant or an artist. Like, this is not, and I have to stop preaching because I will start crying, and also I am deathly afraid of sounding stupid, because I am not here to lead the charge, but I'm here to join it if someone would like to organize very quickly, please, because we're fucked. So I don't have time to be worrying about individualism right now. Unfortunately, there are bigger things happening, and we have to do something. So that's what I'm concerned about in the year 2025. Unfortunately, the baggage gets bigger, it gets heavier, it gets harder to carry by yourself. So if you are watching this and you are a child, or you are however old I was when I made this, which was 20, I don't know why I said it like that. If you are 20 years old and you are worried right now about who you are going to be in 5 years, don't worry about it, because chances are there's always something bigger to be concerned about, and who you are in 5 years is not something you can help. I couldn't help becoming like this. This is just what happened based on my environment, my circumstances, and how I was raised, amongst other things. You are going to become who you're going to become, and you're going to make it work. And I have all the faith in the world that you're going to make it work. So if you're nervous now, don't be. Just focus on what's in front of you. Because there's a lot of bad shit happening. And whoever you are, just as long as you are a good person, it doesn't matter. Doesn't matter what you look like. Doesn't matter who you love. Regardless of how many people in power will tell you that it matters, those are not what you need to be worried about. You need to be worried about dying and being dead and exploding. So worry about that instead. And I know that's a horrible message, but I'm going to leave you with that because my mouth is dry and I'm going to go watch Yellow Jackets season 2. So bye.